catching up with Dion and Scotty talking about the Jube.
Can you give me a little bit of history about the company, how long you've been established and why you established?
Okay, the company's been up and running for 4 years now, 4 years. The musical instrument was invented 9 years ago by myself, but we've only been trading for the last 4 years. So it's been in the public eye for 4 years, been in the making for 9 years.
Okay, so what was the involvement with Scotty into the partnership?
Scotty's got a very long story, but we're not going to do that. I met Scotty through the footballing world, and I'd already invented the Jube. It was acoustic then. I met Scotty. Scotty is an electrician working for an electrician company, and he suggested, why don't you put a mic inside?
Okay, so you're more involved in the designing of the product and the electronic side.
When we met, we found out, Dion told me about the product, and I was working for a shop fitting firm at the time. So we then got that produced in the workshop. We've done some prototypes and developed how to get the mic in there. We tested the mic just very basically at Dion's. The first time we'd ever seen the Jube. We tested this mic inside it just to see if it picked up the sound right, and it went on from there really. So we started producing it in Chesterfield to start with. All the prototypes, got all the drawings and the designs firmed up from a prototype that Dion had made himself actually, up to what we've got now.
We feel like we're in a position now, 4 years on, in a position of strength. We're happy with the mic, we're happy with the build, we're happy with what we have on show, and it's taken us a long time to get where we need to be, but we feel incredibly comfortable with what we've got, proud of what we've got, and we think it sounds and looks. One of our rules, one of our rules within the Dube Percussion company has to look good, sound good, and be easily transportable, and we think we've achieved that.
Thanks for that, Mike. Now let's check in with some of the artists who use this professionally. I've got Karl Brazil with me now. Karl, what is it that you like about the Jube and why do you enjoy playing it?
Well, firstly, let me tell you a bit about it. I'm not sure if you know about it. This is the 9-inch Jube, and inside it's got a tiny little dynamic mic. It's a kick drum mic, basically. So it picks up all the low frequencies. So the thing about the Jube, I'm obviously sat on a Jube. I'll get to that in a minute. This is the smallest Jube. It's got 4 different plating sides, so it's a very percussive instrument. If you're a percussion player, this can be mounted on a rig. It's got an XLR input, which I'll show you on this one. You see that? It's a little XLR input, so you straight in with the cable. This can be part of your percussion rig if you're a percussion player. You can play lots of nice little rhythms and patterns. I won't do it now because I'm on it. And it's also it's great for in the gym if you want to do some exercises. That's the 9-inch. They come in all sorts of different sizes. This is the 18-inch, as you can hear straight away. You can nod your head if you want. So this is the 18. This is in white, but it's got a lot of bottom end. So if I'm doing a drum gig and I have to play some percussion and get off the kit for a bit, play some shakers and tambourines and have a bit of a beatbox machine, which I can play with my hands, I can sit there. And if I've got another one of these rigged up next to me, I could also play it. See what I mean? So they've got all sorts of great tones to them. So as like other instruments, so it's like when you play the back of an acoustic guitar, you get one tone, but this has got so many different things, different sides. So the other thing I want to tell you about is this. It's not a mini Jube, it's a shaker. And I don't know what's inside them. It's a secret apparently.
There's 4 of them, aren't there?
Yeah, so they're all different pitches, but they're really nice. Sorry, I should do it there. But these are great. So again, if I'm on stage doing a gig, I could have a tambourine on the left foot, and then I could have the shaker, the Jube shaker. Shall I keep going? Awkward. So there you go. So you got the mini Jube shakers, which are really cool. Really, really nice tone. We've got the 18-inch Jube.
That's actually a new one.
This is the Jube. Well done. Yes. This is because, let me show you. It's got a little. It's not a record. It's a little seat, and it's really clever. So I don't know how it sticks on there, but look, that ain't budging, even with my bum. So this is really good. This Jube, comfy to sit on. I'm even thinking of getting one of these to put on a drum stool. So, and they come in all sorts of different colours. So I fully endorse the Jube, and everyone should give it a go.
Here with me now soloist, Josh Devine. Josh, what do you like so much about the Jube and playing them?
I think it's just very original. I've had to use a cajon before and other percussive instruments, and yeah, it was something new, something really fresh, and yeah, it definitely brings a lot of people in to look and go, the hell is this, you know? But sounds incredible, you know. It's great. It's easily mic'd. The ones that are mic'd up, you just plug in and play. It's there's no messing around with the different mic configurations. It's just you plug in, sounds great. Yeah, I love it. It's just good fun.
What do you think of the new shakers that have come out this time?
These are actually my favorite shakers. I've used others, but they are literally, I've used these on to record on different records. We recorded some of these live, some of the 1D, all the live stuff, and yeah, they sound great. I love them, especially when you pair them up or put them in a 4. Sounds great.
And also this is the So Jube, which is also new. What do you like about, you know, they've even got a seat with it now that you can spin around on. What do you think about that?
It's great. You don't have to put a stand up, you don't have to find anywhere. It's just, you sit on it and you play. It's more simple, and it twirls. You feel like a child again. It's great. I love it.
I want to talk to you about it. So when you first developed it, it was just the Jube. There was no stands. There was no. So how long's the stand been out, and why did the stand become part of the?
Okay,
feature?
You get a drum stool. It's at the right height. It's easier to play. The stand was quite hard to come about because we tried snare stands, but because the Jube, you can play left, right, on the top and on the front, it would rock. So a friend of ours, Akbar, he built a stand for us to fit the Jube because he's that way. He's a genius when it comes to those kind of things. So the stand works perfectly for the Jube, makes it easier to play. You can play sitting down or you can play standing up. We've got 2 stands.
Okay, how do you find, where does the Jube fit into the percussion world, if you like? Where do you find its marketplaces?
The biggest thing that we come up against with it is everybody compares it to the cajon. We don't. We're probably biased.
We are biased,
but we don't compare it to the cajon other than the fact that it's played by it with hand. A lot of people tell us it's a mixture between what other instruments are out there at the minute, but for us it's not a cajon, and it riles Dion.
Yeah, it does. It does.
When people compare it to the cajon.
Yeah, because there's lots of cajons, people can play the cajon in their own way, and it's basically played in the same way. The Jube has 4 playable faces. It's completely separate. There's only one Jube. It's ours. We own it, and there's no other Jube. So there's a niche market for the Jube. It can be played with rock, can be played with Latin, can be played with pop, funk, anything at all. So if you have the Jube, you've got a lot more. In my opinion, you've got a lot more than what you would have with a cajon. Internally, mic's great. Stands are great. I am biased.
Okay, so because I've seen Stanton Moore use it with brushes.
Yeah.
He'll put a Remo brush pad on the top.
That's right.
And he uses it as with brushes, so it can be used. You don't have to use your hands.
No, not at all. Not at all. When I first invented it 9 years ago, it was all about my hands and the speed of the hand and where you hit it. But yes, as you said, I've interviewed Stanton myself, and he used brushes on it, and you can actually use a bigger sort of a chunky mallet, should I say, a nice soft hitting mallet. You'd get away with using that on maybe the 18 and the 15 to get a different resonance. And it has been used on films as well, so you can use brushes and mallets as well.
So let's move forward then. This year, 2016, at the NAMM show, you've launched 2 new products into the Jube family, where before you just had the Jube.
Jube, yeah.
Okay. What's your thought process behind that? Why did you do that?
Well, this is the shakers, the little baby shakers. We have 4 of these, all in the Jube colours, and they all have their own separate tones. They don't roll off the table when you put them down, as most shakers do, and they're nice and weighty as well, so that's quite a unique thing to the market, and it's new to us as well, launching the Jube shaker as well. And we also, what we're calling the So Jube as well, which is the sit-on Jube, S-O Jube, and it's basically a Jube that you sit on, but we've designed it with small feet, so it's slightly raised off the floor. The playable faces are all around the 4 sides. You actually sit on it with a nice revolving seat, therefore you're not losing any resonance when you sit on it at all. All 4 sides have got a different tone. In the centre it's nice and bassy, and on the edges you're getting a bit of a rim shot. So we decided to do it because it works for the cajon. It's a very simple design, the cajon, and it's a great instrument. We feel that ours is the same thought process, but with it being internally mic'd and having 4 playable sides, you know, we think we may have, you know, hit onto something. Fingers crossed.
We're back here on the Jube stand. I've got Thomas Lang with me now. Thomas, what is it that you like so much about the Jube and playing them?
Well, I like that it's a cube-shaped drum. See, most drums are somehow circular heads. This is literally outside of the box, yet it's a box. No, seriously, I like it. It's so different. It's so unique. I like the fact that it has different pitches. You know, it can play very melodic patterns on it. It looks really interesting and sort of intriguing because it's, you know, such a different shape. I like the fact that it is internally mic'd, which is huge for me. I use it a lot in the studio, and it's really easy to use. It's very clean live because of the internal mic. You don't get any ambient sound or bleed or anything like that. It always sounds fantastic with just a tiny little bit of reverb. It sounds huge, and I like the variety, the different sizes. Has a lot of different tonal qualities, and of course the variety in terms of, you know, the acoustic one like this here, the mic'd Pro version, and the Jube, which is incredible, which is like a cajon meets a bunch of different congas or something, you know. So it covers so many different sounds and a whole huge range of timbre. It's beautiful.
What do you think of one of their new products, which is these shakers?
Now, who doesn't love a good shaker? You know why I love these? The fact that they're cubes allows you to put them down really fast somewhere. You know, when you're playing set and you're switching between sticks and shakers, and just pick them up and put them down. Any other shaker rolls. It's either cylindrical shape or they're eggs or something like that. They roll around. They never stay in the same place. And these are great because you put them down anywhere and they stay where you put them down. They're really easy to grab and they sound great.
Okay, Thomas, what do you think of...
I'll shaker solo. Hang on. I'm feeling it. Okay, all right.
So what do you think of the Jube, which is also and it's got its seat as well?
It feels great. You hear that? You feel that? Yeah. I love the sound. The low end on this thing is impressive. It's really beautiful. And you know, all the different, it's just a great sounding kind of hybrid of a cajon, congas, bass drum. You know, it's all in there. I love it. And of course, it's also internally mic'd, so you get that really nice, clean, easy, sound without much engineering and twiddling of knobs. So it's great.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Thomas.
My pleasure, Gill.
Okay, so it's a unique percussion brand. All the products that you've got as well. And as you say, you're competing against people that look at it and think it's a cajon. What would you say as a new company in the percussion or in the musical world? What would you say your obstacles have been to overcome?
The comparison to the cajon, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because everybody that we come across tends to do that compared to the cajon. The other thing was the pricing point. It's a little more expensive than a cajon. And because of the comparison to that cajon, that's the problem.
But you've got a mic, and you've got a very expensive mic.
Exactly, which is what we try to not justify the price, but when people ask, that's the explanation. There's a mic in there. It's not just three dead sides with the front face variable. It's more than that. The four sides and how the microphone's in there, the positioning of it, the framework that's in there to do that, it is a little more involved. Along the way, we spoke earlier about producing it. People have said to us, "Oh, we can do you that. We can do you that. We can do you that for half the cost of what you're paying." Until they come to look at it, and it's not just a box. So the obstacle has been the cajon side of things, definitely. We think there's justification in the difference in costs due to the fact of you're getting the 4 sides, the 4 different tones, and it's a little more to a percussionist than a cajon. Ironically, when we have percussionists, we had some very good percussionists over today actually. When they come over, it's very surprising that they look at it and then you can see they're quite studious looking at it, and then when they play it, they just stand up and it's wow. So hopefully we're getting the right sort of feedback with regards to the instrument, and it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying. I'm not from a musical background, but it's very satisfying to see and hear people play it, and the comments that we get are very, very positive.
Okay, final question. Where do you see the company in the next few years? Are you going to be adding more percussion to the brand? Where do you see yourself going?
I wish I could answer that, because I'm always thinking about new things. I might ring Scotty in the middle of the night and say, I want to try this, I want to try that. I think we have to walk first. I think we have to get the Jube out there, get the shakers out there, get it into the shops, get it distributed, let the world know how good the Jube is, because we're incredibly proud of it. Once it's out there, we're both quietly confident that the drummers, the percussionists, the universities, the schools, the children will love the Jube. We really believe that, and this show, 2016 at NAMM, has been the best we've ever done. This is the 4th one we've done, and it's been the best by far. Lots of interest, lots of distribution interest as well. And, you know, we're getting drummers coming over, you know, big name drummers, and they love it, and percussionists as well. So, like I say, fingers crossed, we'll just keep working hard, do our best to get it out there, and we feel once it's out there, we'll be okay.
Well, that's all we've got time for here on the Jube booth. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next show.